Okay, good morning. So today we did a big project last week. It was an engineered floor, a glue down in a condo. I didn't actually videotape that, but the scraps, I just dug them out of the garbage, out of the trailer, and I'm gonna make a little console for that old 94 Chevy pickup I got. Let's take a look at this wood. So this is the flooring we put in. It's a 9.5 inch wide engineered white oak product. It's got, a little over an eighth, maybe 3/16 of solid oak on the end there. So these are just some pieces I took out of the trailer. And you can see it's pretty nice looking wood. It was a beautiful floor. I'll try to throw some pictures up of it. So yeah, I'm gonna make a console out of this for my truck. Let's go take a look at the truck. Okay, so when you look in the truck here, down in this area, there's a great big area here where there's just basically nothing in there. And I'm thinking I'm gonna build a little table, a couple of cup holders and a little table on top, and maybe some storage in the bottom with a couple of cubbies for possibly some CDs or something like that. I still listen to CDs sometimes. You can see I got my pencils laying there, and I throw my tape measure down there sometimes, and it just kind of rolls around. It's gonna build a nice little table that's gonna come up underneath this. So it's got this other cup holder, you know, that's just this factory one. So mine's gonna have to come in just underneath this. And that's pretty much where I want it. Just gonna be a box, and I'll try to make it look kind of good. You know, maybe I'll slant it a little bit. We'll see. I just kind of have a visual in my head. I'm not gonna do any plans. Just gonna build this thing. Let's go look in the van and see the one I built in there. So this is just a junky one I made in my old work van. So this had something in it originally, and it was gone when I bought this van. I bought this van 14 years ago for 2,800 bucks, and I still drive it. But this is a nice little cup holder, and I built a little thing here for my cell phone, and on the other side you can hang a tape measure on it. So that's one I built for this van, and it works, serves a purpose. Okay, so in this van, my nice van, my 94 Chevy, you can see I built this thing for it here, which is kind of similar to the other one, but it's a lot nicer, and I made it out of teak. And you know, it just kind of sits in here. I built it so oops, that's the weight that holds it down. So it just kind of sits in there. Then I got this big hunk of steel that I kind of, because I didn't want to drill any holes in the dash, because the dash on this van is so darn nice. And then I built this little table here, which has the top that slides back and forth. Of course, I mount my little Wave 3 heater on the back, which is out of here right now. It's in my other one, but I tend to just throw my stuff up here a lot, you know, when I'm driving, my phone, and a lot of times my coffee cup. I have a couple that don't actually fit inside these holes, so I just put them here. That fits a tape measure, and pencils fit in here really good. But this is actually built, you know, to fit a full, you know, 20-pound bottle of propane. You know, I can put propane in there in my heater, and that heats the old van up, you know. There's the van. So it's going to be a kind of a combo of these two, but not quite as nice as this, but functional like this is. All right, so there's my dimensions. I have 8 inches tall to fit underneath the other cup holder inside the truck, 10 inches wide to fit up on top of the hump there, the tranny hump, and about 12 inches deep to add some stuff. And I'm thinking I can put a couple of CD holders up inside of here, something like that. And then I'm not sure how I'm going to access them. I might just cut a big hole in the side, or maybe I'm just going to make it so you just lift this thing off and get to your CDs. I'm not going to make it too complicated. Okay, so there's my two sides. I gotta go scribe those into the truck because it's an angle in there. Okay, so in the truck, I'm gonna fit this thing. I'm gonna do it right in the middle, so I kind of Oh, it's a little tall, eh? You know, it's because I got to cut the back of it off. So, let's see, can I get this in here? All right, there we go. Now I'm going to cut this down. I made it a little bit tall. So what I'm going to do here is basically scribe this in. So I bought a little wedge so I can wedge that up. I'm going to put a level on that. And I'm going to keep going up until I'm pretty level. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I want my coffee to be sitting pretty level when I'm cruising down the road. So I got my trusty old scribe here. This is the Made in USA. I've had this thing for about 35 years from back in the boatyard. Tried to find them. I found some, same exact thing almost, but they're made in China now by General. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to scribe that off like that. I'll make two the same, so I know that that's gonna, when I plop that down, it's gonna sit pretty level. Yeah, and I'll make two of those. All right, let's just go ahead and mark that off. Generalize it. I'll cut that, come back and mark the other one. Hey, those are pretty close. We're going to fix it like that. I should be about 8 inches right here. 9. Should be just about right. I can always cut them a little bit more. Oh, you know what I did? I made it backwards. Yeah, oak on one side. Like that. Gotta make another one. You know what? I got a lot of scrap. Cut that one. So you know, after looking at this thing, I want to make it wider. I don't like the width that I come up with. I want it coming all the way out to here. Okay, that's 11. It needs to come out all the way to the edge here. So I kind of need to make the piece fit down in here. It's just turning out too small sitting on top of that hump. I want a table. I want a real table in here. About like that. Let's see what that is. So 12 inches on that end. And on this end, yeah, it looks like just a square 12-inch piece on that side. Okay, so here's my basic shape. So you see I made it a little wider, 14 inches. So now I'm gonna a two-piece top. I'm gonna start gluing this thing together. Like I said, it's just pretty simple. I'm just going to brad nail this together and fill the little nail holes. So this side actually is going to be taller. Yes. Block that up a little bit more. Could get that wedge going on that I made. That's about right. That'll get it close enough for me to put it together. Alright, let's glue it. Good. I'm gonna wipe some of that glue off. And then I'm gonna add a little piece to the front here like this. Then I'll trim it out, drill a couple of holes. I'll put a piece in the back to hold it all rigid. Then I'll go see what it looks like and see what I have to do to trim it all out. Well, I got busy working and didn't film this little bit here. So I just took this hole saw here and cut these holes out of the top of this thing. And I left a little relief for the cup. So the handle can slip right through there. I mean, I made these 3.5 inches, you know, but I still have coffee cups that won't fit through there. That shit won't even fit. You know, big ass cups, they won't fit, but the regular cups will. Okay, so I went and got an even bigger cup. This even bigger than that one. And you know what? It fits pretty good. It actually fits in there snug. So regular cups are gonna fit great in this thing. All right, I'm gonna carry on. Okay, so I'm gonna start trimming this out. So I got this chunk of a stair nosing here. It's white oak like the rest of it. I'm gonna cut and sand the finish off. And I'm gonna do a little C-rail all the way around it. That's gonna stick up about 1/2 inch all the way around. And I might just put another piece going across here and put a piece of carpet in here like on the van, because I like the way you can just set your phone on it and the stuff doesn't rattle around. You can put your pencils and tape measure up there. So that's what I'm working on right now. Okay, so here's my little edge banding setup. I got my boards all cut to fit. They're gonna be a nice quarter sawn shown. So those are gonna go on just like that, covering up the end of that plywood. Yeah, and I got my little trim saw right here that I like to do this with. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut a couple of these. So I'm using my little Harbor Freight headless pin nailer. That's all it needs, not much. Okay, just a little look at what we got going on here. You can see I got my trim. I'm getting ready to start sanding. So I'm going to put 2 more verticals here and a little horizontal there, and that's going to finish out that. And I'll leave that up too so it has a little lip in there. Yeah, the back, I'm not really sure I need to trim the back, but I will anyway just because I'm doing it. Okay, so there's the roughed in piece. I'm going to take it out to the truck right now and see how it fits. See what it looks like, and then I'm going to sand it all up and finish it. You know, I might put another board going right across here, put another one this height right across there, covering up those nail holes, and then I can fit a little piece of carpet right inside that section. I think I'm going to do it. Okay, let's try that again. That's much better. That's exactly what I wanted right there. You know, it cuts off a little leg room here, but not really. Plus, I'm the only one that ever really rides in here mostly anyway. So, there it is. It fits. I want to do a little more work. That's it. I just got to do my thing, sand it all down and finish it up. And that's going to be it. Okay, so here it is, all done pretty much. I put another shelf in the bottom. You know, there's really, the seat kind of is in the way of that. But what I did is I put a cubby hole on the side here, and you can reach your hand in there and get to anything you might want to store inside there. Batteries, different things you want to charge. And I may drill a hole. I may drill a hole in the back of it to run a charger so you can charge batteries and things like that when you're on the road. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to start sanding it. You know, that's pretty much it. The rest, I'm just going to break all this. I'm just going to ease the edge by hand. Just break the edge. Okay, all sanded. You see I radiused it over just a little bit in some of these areas. I made the little cubby hole in the top. Got the shelf in the bottom that you access through here mostly. So I'm going to get ready to, I'm going to blow this thing off and put some finish on just the wood. I'm going to use some water base on just the raw wood because this is actually pre-finished flooring that the top is made out of. My normal go-to on something like this would be to just use tung oil on it. But you know, I finished some of this with tung oil for this project we did, this flooring project, and you know, it just, it was too dark. So I'm just going to use a little bit of water base. And hopefully it'll kind of dry to that opaque look, which is kind of the gray earth tones of today's world. Kind of bland. Let's just put a little bit of this on and see how it goes. Alright, so it's definitely looking not as dark as the tung oil. So I'm thinking when that dries, it'll definitely be even lighter than that, because this stuff dries kind of opaque. So I'm going to go ahead and coat the rest of this. I'm just using a little teeny 1/2-inch brush here, so I can go around all the edges. There, finishing touches. Okay, last couple finishing touches here on the first coat. think I got a good coat on everything. Everything visible. So I'm going to let this dry for a few hours. Got to give it at least a couple hours. Then I'm going to come back out, very lightly sand it, screen it, and put another coat on it. Then by tomorrow, I can put this in my truck and it's done. But in the meantime, while this is drying, let's head in the house and make some French toast and sausage for breakfast. Okay, so you know when you buy this fresh bread, we get it at SARS here. You know, the first day it's nice and warm when you buy it, and it's just perfect shape. But you know, the next day it's not as good as the first day and it starts to dry up a little bit. This is what I make French toast out of. This is the best stuff. So the first thing I'm gonna do, well, you know, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut up some Jimmy Dean regular pork sausage and get a patty of that going. So here I'm thinking, that's enough for breakfast right there. What I'll do is I'll just get my trusty wok going here. I cook a lot of things in my wok these days, it seems like. I'll just squish that stuff right out of there just like that. Then I'll get that and I'll just flatten that out. Oh yeah. Sometimes I use a fork. Today, I'm using my hand. So I'm only cooking for myself here this morning, so I'm not being so perfect about this, but that's going to be some good sausage. Wash my hand off. Turn that down a little bit for a nice slow cook. Alright, let's chop this bread up here. Clean my knife off. Okay, so let's cut this bread up. I like to cut it in about 1-inch pieces for French toast. About like that. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut it all up, even though this bread, it's pretty good and soft in the middle still. I just bought it last night. But I'm going to go ahead and just make French toast out of it. Of course, I'm not going to eat all this right now, but it'll be ready to go and I can eat it as the day goes on. That's pretty good. I'll eat that one right now with some butter. Okay, so the French toast. I think 5 eggs is about enough for that. So let's just go in with the eggs here. I'm a little unorganized. That's kind of the story of my life. Here we go, no shells. Jimmy Dean's cooking nicely in there, nice slow cook on that. Okay, so the way my mom used to make it, she always put vanilla, cinnamon, and a little bit of cream or milk in it. I don't put the milk in it myself. I just put the cinnamon and a nice skosh of vanilla there for some flavor. Some of this Costco Saigon cinnamon that I read comes from Vietnam, actually. I'll put a nice little healthy amount of that in there. Alright, let's just give that a nice little egg mixer. Oh yeah, lots of cinnamon. I like to be able to taste my cinnamon. And cinnamon, you know, cinnamon and honey are a superfood. You can use honey on this or maple syrup. I buy real maple syrup and I like to use that. Honey would be good too. stay away from the high fructose, that's all. Alright, so that's ready to go. And warm up my griddle here. Got a few different kinds of these, but I'm just using this one right now because it seems to work pretty good. And in the meantime, I think I'm going to butter up that piece of bread and eat it. You know, my butter this morning was all frozen. I didn't have any defrosted butter, so. Gotta be careful with this knife. You know, this knife is a very sharp knife. My son sharpened it, and I freaking cut myself on it about a week ago. So I'm very careful with this knife now. Oh yeah, a little bit of butter. Let's try that. Oh baby, I love that stuff. Check my sausage here. Going along great. Maybe a little too high. Let me turn that down a little bit. There we go. Alright, as soon as that griddle gets hot, I'm going to put some French toast on there. Let me know when it's hot. I'll butter that thing up like that. Oh, yeah, baby. Look at that. Oh, baby. That baby's getting warm. Turn that down. Start putting some toast on there. So here we go. Let's roll these around 2 or 3 times. Let that soak in nicely. That griddle fits them pretty good. There we go. There's my 5 eggs. I got 1 piece left. I think I'll just eat that too. All right. You know, one thing you can't do on these videos yet is you can't add smell. Because if you could smell this right now, oh. Now sausage cooking. We're going to let that stuff turn golden brown. Oh, look at that. It's starting. It's starting. My Jimmy Dean's coming along just nicely. It's almost winter time. I'm gonna get that camper out and do some camping in the woods is my plan. I got a couple of spots already picked out to go check out over there in eastern Washington. Oh boy, here we go. Oh, look at that. Nice and brown. Let's move that around a little bit. Oh. Some of these can go a little longer. Now the burner's not quite big enough for this thing, so I kind of got to move it around a little. Jimmy Dean done. Move that out onto a piece of napkin so we can defrost a little bit. So we can get the grease out of it a little bit. By George, I think we're about done on that French toast. Don't want to overdo it now. Alright, we're going to turn that off. We're going to plate this stuff up. One nice piece of sausage. Since I'm here alone, I'm taking the best one. Usually I give the best ones out, but since I'm all by myself, I get the best ones. I'll use some of this pure maple syrup here, and there you go. French toast and Jimmy Dean sausage. Hey, look at that color. Not bad. I'm going to screen that off a little bit, put another coat. It's going to be done. Big one. I'll make a couple more. Just had this stuff laying around. Okay, let's put this little thing together and see how we did here. There's that little piece. This one should fit right in there. Look at that, huh? Nice. I'm gonna throw my phone up there now, and in the truck, the cigarette lighter is right about right here. So I can just plug it in and charge it right there, or lean it up against the thing. I kind of like that. And this one here is going to go down in here. Oh yeah, just like that. And my little cup holder. And then this one goes down in here. Just like that. And of course you access that through that little cubby hole right there. You can reach in there, or you can put your maps and things in here. Let's go take it out to the truck and see how it fits. Okay, so here it is, all inside the truck and all done. So you can see, I kind of made that little spot for my tape measure right there. You can just throw your phone up here. I can have some pencils laying around in there, or down inside this little cubby, or down inside the cubby over here you can put some stuff. You know, you can't really access the front of it. That's why I put the hole in the side, because I knew the seat was going to block the lower access to that. But you know, you can put a lot of stuff inside there. So there it is, all done. Yeah, so that works out just about perfect. And my phone hooked up right there to the, you know, this truck is a 94, so it doesn't have 12 volt access. So, you know, this thing will go back a little. You can push it in there. You can almost get to that access down there, but not really. that's kind of the way I made it, just so it sits in there just like that, and I got myself a place for my drinks, even though you can still use this drink holder if you need it. If you want to use it, you can. Anyway, that's it for this video. Catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.